Crack open a tepid Genesee and watch the pictures as they travel through your neighbor's Wi-Fi. It's the Rees Company. I'm Steve Rees, the bull of American broadcasting, alongside the great, the irate, the Secretary of State, Chris Morganti. How are you, Chris?
I'm good.
And Jim, he's behind the boards. And in just a bit, we're going to be talking to an old friend of the show, Nick Doritos Guy Vollmer. And a little later, via voicemail, we're going to be hearing from another old friend of the show, Eric Todd. And we also have some news stories to talk about. No movie of the week this week, but we have a very bizarre one coming up next week.
Yeah, it's a little bit different in many ways.
It's very different. I'm not even sure there's a plot.
Yeah.
And a little more on that later. But first, there's a breaking news story. I guess it was yesterday or the day before, perhaps?
The day before, yeah, Wednesday.
Russia invaded Ukraine.
Yeah.
Now, you say the Ukraine.
I do. I don't know why, but I do say that. And
I believe it is just Ukraine. Where did we get the idea it was the Ukraine?
Well, it's kind of to Putin's point that it didn't used to be a country. It was a region. So you would call it the Ukraine. And then when it became a country, they preferred that you call it Ukraine in recognition that they're an actual country. But, apparently Vladimir Putin disagrees.
Well, so. I think in this day and age, we should respect everyone's definite articles.
Sure, why not? You know what bugs me is I grew up spelling the capital of Ukraine, Kiev, K-I-E-V, and all of a sudden now it's spelled with a Y. I don't know.
And they're pronouncing it differently, too. They're saying Kiev.
Yeah.
I've never had chicken Kiev.
Right, exactly. So I don't know what that's all about, but something just happened there.
We are fortunate because we do have somebody in the field, I believe.
In the Ukraine?
Or Ukraine.
In Ukraine.
Yeah, I'm going with Ukraine.
Yeah, you're right. It just sounds odd, but yeah. Yes, we have a war correspondent over there. And we have some... do we have him ready to go? Let's cut to our war correspondent in Ukraine, Humongous Pecker.
Live from Ukraine, our war correspondent, Humongous Pecker.
Good evening, Steve. I am live from the Ukraine. There have been scattered reports of violence here tonight. We had a fist fight on the street below us, but we believe that that was just a coke deal gone bad. We also have reports of a man who kicked his dog and called his wife a cunt, but we cannot confirm. There are some aircraft going by. Again, we had reports of a man who kicked his dog and called his wife a cunt, but we can't confirm that was a result of any Russian military action. Steve, I believe there's also reports of some martial law being declared throughout the Ukraine, and I think I speak for everyone when I say I hope that they declare Marshall Tucker law, because I don't think anything could diffuse this situation more than the sweet flute-based Southern rock of Marshall Tucker. Of course, there's talk of mass homelessness being created here as a result of these actions. In my case, it was because my old lady kicked me out of our trailer after I bent the rent money on the Bengals. But yes, potentially a lot other homelessness as well here. The invasion was preceded by massive cyber attacks, is what we're hearing, which in my case resulted in a crippling loss of Pornhub. No confirmed reports if that's a national widespread phenomenon. Again, I'm Humongous Pecker. Back to you, Steve.
Okay.
Right.
Well, thank you for that report, Mr. Mungus Pecker. And, I think a lot's being said about the Ukraine, or the whole situation, and I guess we don't need to keep going on about it.
All right. Shall we get Nick on the phone?
Sure.
Hello?
Nick, can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello?
No.
Hello?
You're fucking with us, right?
I'm not fucking with you.
All right, Nick, Doritos Guy Vollmer, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a while since we've spoken on the show. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Yeah, I haven't seen. Well, I saw you a little while ago, but Morgani ducked out last time I was there to go get an onion for the Pope. And how you doing? How you guys been?
We're good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun.
Well, we want to share something with you because I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. There's a news story, but we have a connection to it that I'm not sure you're aware of, Nick.
Oh, what's that?
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, by the way, Nick, to my surprise, she's a representative in Congress. She's not a 90s child sitcom star. She's been mocked online for a video in which she confuses the name of the Nazi secret police with a chilled tomato soup. And in this video, this Republican lawmaker from Georgia, she first calls the Washington... She calls the Washington, D.C. jail the D.C. gulag. All right, fair enough. And then complains about, quote, Nancy Pelosi's gazpacho police spying on members of Congress.
Yeah. But that's kind of what you would expect. She represents a rural district of Georgia, if I'm correct.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's people there. Is it time for us to vote for a congressperson? Do you know, Steve, do you know where we vote at? Is the polling place by the still? Because we ain't checked on that in weeks. So it's kind of not surprising that she's making these kind of faux pas.
I'm sure there are a lot of very fine people in her district.
Sure.
I thought the gazpacho police was a spin-off from Seinfeld, like the soup Nazi, like Better Call Saul of the soup Nazi.
Well, what you may not know, Nick, is we found ourselves in a similar situation. When was this, Chris? Do you remember?
This was early on in this show, April of last year, I believe it was.
What happened?
Well, we had a similar misunderstanding of words, and
yeah, we were invited on a program to discuss something.
And you know, we thought it made sense to us why they would have us on to talk about this.
Seemed like a perfect fit, yeah.
Yeah, because we sit here every week drinking fine Genesee beer, and
right.
So we just assumed they were having us on to talk about Genesee. But that apparently was not the case.
No.
What was the subject matter of the program?
Well, I believe we have some audio to share with the audience.
Okay.
Yesterday, President Joe Biden formally recognized the Armenian genocide. Here to discuss the topic of genocide are the hosts of the Rees Company, Steve Rees and Chris Morganti. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello? 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 Hey, Hamboy, turn up the gain.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on genocide?
I love it.
Honestly, I can't get enough of it. Love that Jenny.
Wow, that's a very controversial stance. Are you advocating this for any particular group?
Well, traditionally, it's been associated with white folks like us, but we feel it's for everyone. Blacks, Hispanics, gays, Native Americans.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Native Americans are familiar with Jenny.
Yeah, but they could still use some more.
Okay, I think we need to cut this interview short.
Andrea sounds a little uptight. I think she could use some Jenny. Man, since last we convened, the LA Rams won the Super Bowl. They had a parade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's usually what happens.
There was a poor turnout.
Yeah.
Did you see any of that? Jim, you saw some of that, right? You saw some of the photos. It was very sparsely attended. And a lot of folks are pointing to this as more evidence that people in Los Angeles do not care about gridiron football, while I say that's not true.
Okay.
LA is a town of transplants. People move there from all over the country and all over the world, frankly, to take part in show business or attend USC or UCLA. And those schools have a big local following. The Trojans, the Bruins, their football games draw fans because people attended those schools and stayed in Southern California. Most people in Los Angeles have no ties to their local NFL teams. They come to town, but continue to support the teams they used to watch back home. So that's what the Rams are dealing with. And so are the Chargers, but the Chargers also suffer another issue. Take a look at the Chargers logo. I know that's meant to represent a visible surge of electricity, but let's face it, Chris, it looks more like a floating toupee. And that's the sort of thing you can get away with in San Diego. That's a very laid-back place. But LA is a town of vanity, and their logo seems to be calling everybody out for being artificial. So you're not going to win hearts and minds with that attitude.
And don't you feel like another issue is that everyone there knows one of those teams, if not both, will be gone in a few years?
That's always a possibility with LA football.
Yeah. What I've always heard is that in LA, the Oscars are like their biggest, to them, that's like the Super Bowl. Because everyone out there wants to be in the business or was in the business or, show business.
Right.
But I don't know if that's true. But that's what I've heard.
But also a lot of those people come from other places. And as I said, they support the teams they grew up watching.
I'm sure they do.
Now, weeks ago, you might have heard this, Nick, and we'd like your opinion on it once you hear the one submitted recently. We had a spirited discussion regarding a hypothetical battle among herds of mythical creatures. The question was, who would win? And Chris, do you remember who the proposed combatants were?
Yes, it was centaurs, pegasi, unicorns, and rhinoceroses.
Yeah. Now, rhinos, not... Nick?
Yeah, I was just going to point out exactly what you're saying. Rhinos are not mythical.
Well, they are because this was a cavalry battle. So there has never been a rhinoceros cavalry unit. So they were yeah. So they've attained mythical status by never having been used in a cavalry setting.
Who would win in a fight?
Yeah,
Ren and Stimpy.
Among these four.
Oh, it was unicorns, rhinoceroses,
Pegasi, and centaurs.
Pegasi and centaurs. I'm gonna go with rhinoceros because it's basically a unicorn, but it's fatter.
See, now I got to do to him what I did to everyone when I brought this up. You didn't ask the most important question, Nick.
What's that?
Mounted or unmounted?
Oh, mounted or unmounted?
Yeah, that's that. I think that's where most of our debate centered around. And what did I come down with? Centaurs? I forget where I stood.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But this would be unmounted, obviously.
I think we discussed both.
Yeah, you don't like a guy riding a centaur. I can't see how that would be advantageous at all.
Yeah.
But a guy riding a rhinoceros, you see that all the time.
Well, why do you bring this up again, Steve?
Well, we offered differing opinions on this, and it led to a discussion. And the A-bomb, also known as A+, chimed in as well. And a friend of the show, Eric Todd, has since bowled into the fray. He left us a couple of voicemails stating his position. Can we hear the first one, Jim?
This message is for Steve and A+. So if there's this army of centaurs or even like a little battalion of them, like equal to the amount of the Pegasuses, like half of them could have the men riding facing the back and the other half could be facing forward. That way, because the centaur itself is autonomous, so that way it could take, and I'm sure they got bow and arrow, right? If you're riding on a centaur, I think you'd have a bow and arrow.
Who was he asking?
Like a heavy duty one or a crossbow. And they could take care of the Pegasus. Now, the Pegasuses have guys on them, right? Do they have guys on them? All right, so if they have guys on them, it'd be very hard to aim a gun or a bow and arrow with the wings flapping. Also, I found it really interesting how people thought that after-school special was that other movie, because that's like a real thing with our memories being all screwy. There's a movie called The Ode to Billy Joe, and I remember a rape scene.
Oh, well, no. Okay, no.
Wrong one?
Yeah, no, I cut that part out.
I believe what he's talking about is called the Mandela Effect. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I've heard of this. What it is people with shitty memories trying to blame it on something mythical. Speaking of myths.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just people who remember things wrong.
Yeah.
And trying to find an excuse for it.
Yeah, and they've all rallied around this quote-unquote science that proves that there's they blame time travel or some
something
sort of,
like that.
That's all it could be. It can't possibly be that you're a pig and carrot.
Yeah. But I'm confused as to what Eric. I'm pretty sure he made the same points I made when we discussed this on the show.
But
That's why I said the Centaurs would win.
I think we should hear the second voicemail, and you be the judge as how this ends up.
Steve, also, if a Pegasus gets hit, it's falling from the sky, and more than likely the Pegasus and the guy on it are either dead or too injured to fight. Where if the Centaur gets hit, the man in the front may still be strong enough to throw some punches or shoot some arrows. The guy on the Centaur, if the Centaur's hit, the guy on the Centaur is still fine. The guy on the Centaur's hit, the Centaur's still fine. The fact that the Pegasus is flying, it makes it like one person, even with the person on the back. Fucking Chris Morgani's a fucking idiot.
I did not see that coming.
Steve, also, if a Pegasus gets hit,
I'm pretty sure he's agreeing with
from
me.
the sky, and more than likely the Pegasus and the guy on it are either dead or too injured to fight. Where if the Centaur gets hit, the man in the front may still be strong enough to throw some punches or shoot some arrows. The guy on the Centaur, if the Centaur's hit, the guy on the Centaur is still fine. The guy on the Centaur's hit, the Centaur's still fine. The fact that the Pegasus is flying, it makes it like one person, even with the person on the back. Fucking Chris Morgani's a fucking idiot.
Oh, thanks for repeating it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, by the way, I'm a fucking idiot, says the guy who pronounced it Senator. All right, Eric, good talking to you.
Is there some heat?
I mean, I was a bit harsh.
You want to cut a promo on Eric?
I'm pretty sure I was talking about how the Senators would win. Now he's got me saying Senators.
No,
Senators.
But I'm pretty sure I said the Centaurs would win. At least one of them, mounted or unmounted. I'm pretty sure unmounted, I said definitely Centaurs. But I went mounted, I think I went Pegasus. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think Pegasus was the victor. And I also believe
air power is clearly of no value.
I also believe that the unmounted argument was thrown out. We went to mounted.
Okay.
To have the crux of the debate, the meat of it.
All right.
Well, wait a second.
Yeah.
A centaur mounted? There's another centaur riding a centaur?
No, these are all mounted by humans.
Human.
What are we fighting for?
The affection, or it gets real. This is where it gets really weird. It's all about Martina McBride. We don't know if it's for her affection or a disagreement about the quality of her musical output. All we know is Martina McBride is the cause of all this conflict.
Right.
Oh, I see. Now it makes sense. Before I didn't. I get it now.
All right. Now,
I agree with. By the way, I agree with Eric. Whatever he just said for a minute and a half. I couldn't really hear what he said, but I agree with him.
So you're calling me a fucking idiot?
Oh, is that what he said? No, I don't agree with that part.
That's what he said twice, and then he called them Senators.
I think we heard the clip twice. I think that's what it was.
Oh,
Okay. Possible? No.
Centaurs?
Oh.
Aren't those like? Centaurs are. That's like a bad guy from Hellraiser. I'm pretty sure.
Now, during one of we had a couple breaks in the production, and you were talking about prank calls, Nick.
Was I?
Yeah.
When?
Moments ago, we had a break and we were having an off-the-cuff discussion. And
this is all live. There are no cuts in this. What are you talking about?
Right. All right. I know, but I like people to think we have cuts because it makes them feel better about having to edit.
Oh, okay.
I want people to think this isn't live because then when they do their little whatever they do, it makes them it makes them feel better. You once prank called a guy called Jim Cramer. Now, most folks know him as the host of Mad Money on CNBC. You called his show, and I'm not sure you've ever told this story on the show before. Do you want to tell the folks? Hopefully.
Yeah, sure. I prank called Jim Cramer from Mad Money. and he gives out all the stock advice, and he's very intense. I'm sure everybody knows who Jim Cramer is.
Yeah.
And we used to listen to it. We used to get a kick listen. This is a bull stock. You gotta buy it. This is a bear stock. And I would call in, and you could never get through to his show. It was very rare that you would actually get on. So he would just leave a voicemail or whatever. And I would leave him long, rambling voicemails where I'd call him a fucking idiot. And then, one time I got through, and I got through, and I said, "Hey, Jim, I just wanted to thank you for all the advice over the years. You told me to buy, and I forget what stock it was. You told me to buy this, and and I rambled for about 30 seconds, and I said, I just have one question. And he's like, what's that, buddy? And I said, what is the stock market? And they hung up on me.
All right, Nick, is there anything we didn't talk about?
Did he call you a fucking idiot?
Senator, yeah.
Is there anything we didn't talk about you might want to talk about?
Yeah. Did we have the clips from that movie?
Oh, Robot in the Family?
Yeah.
Kind of, but you won't be able to see or hear those clips.
Oh, why not?
I don't know, Nick.
Oh, no, I think we're good. Wait. Tell me seriously, what do you guys think about this whole Ukraine thing?
Really?
I'll take I'll hang up and just talk about that for a little bit.
Chris, is there anything you didn't talk about that you might want to talk about?
I feel like I have to respond to these Eric Todd comments.
Well,
That's pretty
I
hard,
wanted
yeah.
to cut a promo on him, and I think that'd be appropriate.
Okay. Like now?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm just not sure how to respond, so I don't know that I'm ready to...
I'll bet you'll figure it out, and you'll be able to address it appropriately.
Well, I'll say this. I brought the whole Centaur Pegasus thing in here as a fun little thing for us to talk about.
Lighthearted.
Yeah. I didn't expect to get to the level of brutal name calling, which I find, frankly, completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
So, all right, Eric, I'll issue this challenge. Come on the show, and we'll debate any sort of similar topic. You pick 4 animals, 4 mythical creatures, something similar, and we'll have a debate that's not lighthearted, I guess. You want to throw around names like that? I've done some roast in my time. That's the direction you want to take this? Come on the show and we'll have a nice or not so nice debate about it.
A challenge has been issued to Eric Todd, and hopefully he'll take you up on that, and we'll see who the true victor is. We'll see who's the FI.
I think, Steve, you should probably, since you're an impartial party, you should come up with the topic of debate.
Maybe like mythical, like folk heroes, like a Paul Bunyan.
I like that one.
Yeah, something like that, or Sasquatch. Something like that. I'll let Eric figure it out.
Still getting your digs in. All right. In that case, Nick, anything you want to plug?
Your ears?
Yeah. No, I want to plug this show. We'll be doing another show next week, right?
Yeah, hopefully, perhaps. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Nick will be back next week to discuss our movie of the week.
Yep.
Not a TV movie of the week, though. Steve.
Not barely even a movie.
Yeah. See, this is the first time we've done a straight-to-video film. Now, ordinarily, we rate our films on the Meredith Baxter scale, from 1 to, I believe, 5 Meredith Baxters. Now, because this is straight-to-video, we're kind of conflicted as to how to rate it. Meredith Baxter doesn't really fit into that genre. So we're curious and trying to figure out how we should rate these films. Now, Chris, you suggested the Olsen Twins, because they are known as straight-to-video
Yeah, I don't even know if they're known for that.
magnates.
You know,
Well,
no
you
one,
said they're very successful.
no
in
one
that.
over the age of 6 watched any of them, but they made a ton of them and they made a lot of money.
And they were all straight to video, and they did really well for themselves. So I kind of agree with that. In my opinion, I think we should do like a thumbs up, thumbs down thing.
Yeah, I like that.
And it should be either Mary Kate or Ashley. Thumbs up being the one who didn't have anorexia.
Sounds good.
That's my suggestion. But I'm open to others if anyone has anything.
No, I like that.
Okay.
I just have to remember which one didn't have anorexia.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, we can look into that.
Also, didn't one of them kill Heath Ledger?
Whoa.
No. Neither Olsen twin killed Heath Ledger.
Okay. Well, maybe we can debate that, you fucking idiot. Who is a better Olsen twin?
Mythologically speaking, if the Olsen twins had
debate
killed
that.
Heath Ledger, would they have used a spell or a curse?
Chris Morgani plugs.
No.
All right. In that case, thank you so much for joining us, Jim, Chris Morgani, Nick, Doritos Guy, Vollmer. I'm Steve Rees. Husky
Husky Wawa.
Holy Mackinac.
Chihuahua.
Tigers eat them
Eat 'em
raw.
raw. We did it.